Welcome to my podcast, Through the Thick of It. My name is Erica. I'm a functional dietitian and coach, and so grateful to have helped thousands of people uncover their unique health code. I'm excited to bring my expertise and experience to you today. I'm going to be talking about the most common reasons we have less than optimal energy so that we can better navigate what might be causing your energy to be zapped and how to fix it. We'll talk about the steps you can take right now to feel more vibrant and productive. But first, let's start by doing a little exercise to boost your energy right now. Sit or stand up straight, shoulders back, and take a deep belly breath. Most times we breathe shallowly and our chest only moves up and down. I'm asking you to go much deeper down into the belly and have it expand and contract. And I'm going to challenge you a little further. Jump up and down a few times. While you're watching this episode, listening to this episode, grab a drink of water. Maybe try while you're jumping to hum or sing or even sigh to let out some stress. Try smiling or laughing. Just that little exercise changed your biochemistry significantly, and I hope you can feel it. My goal for you today is to understand yourself a little more and take a meaningful step forward. There are 3 areas to explore. Today, I'm going to cover just the first one. I will be talking about a very common issue, having low levels of key nutrients. This is a big one, but actually simple to fix. In the next episode, I will be covering more complex issues related to gut health because we don't fully digest our foods or possibly absorb our foods properly, and the intake of too many harmful foods. You know what that means. If you've ever felt sluggish or had a stomach ache after eating, this could be due to food additives, too much sugar, processed foods, foods you're sensitive to, and also alcohol. The first big reason you may be feeling fatigued is that your nutrient levels are depleted. 50% of Americans claim to actively try to eat healthy, but 3 out of 4 Americans don't eat a single piece of fruit a day. 9 out of 10 don't reach the minimum recommendations for vegetables. In fact, the average American only consumes 206 calories of fruits and veggies a day. 96% of people don't reach the minimum for leafy greens in a week, and 610 calories out of the day is from grain products, most likely processed ones. As you can see, many people think they're doing better than they really are. And many people don't really care because we have too many other things to think about to really understand the importance of these different nutrients, the impact they have on daily lives. We could feel so much better. And most importantly, most people don't know how influential better nutrient intake is to our health. So let's talk about the key nutrients that you should focus on to increase your energy. It might just take a few small tweaks in your diet to get there. They include iron, the B vitamins, vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, and magnesium. Your doctor can test all of these levels and maybe you even have had them tested. Make sure you look carefully at your lab results. Results that are close to the low end range can still present with symptoms of fatigue. So even though they might show in optimal range or in range, it isn't truly optimal. So let's start with iron. This one is very important for energy. An iron deficiency can mean that you are not able to produce enough oxygen carrying red blood cells. So what's happening then is your body is struggling to transport oxygen to your brain, to your muscles, to your cells, which leaves you feeling exhausted and weak. How do these get depleted? Low iron levels are generally due to blood loss. One of the most common things for women is menstruation, poor diet intake, or an inability to absorb enough iron from food. Sometimes it's due to the gut and sometimes to competing nutrients. So how do we increase it? You can eat more iron-rich foods. The most bioavailable sources are from animal protein. If you are a vegetarian, there are plant sources. They're just not as available to your body. but they include beans, lentils, spinach, seeds, nuts. And then one note, if you're taking antacids on a regular basis, those will bind to iron and stop you from absorbing it. So if you have to take antacids or are taking them, I don't recommend it, but if you are, you will want to take it away from food sources of iron. One caution, I'm not telling you here to jump in and take an iron supplement without being tested. High iron can actually be a really bad thing in the body. So make sure you're tested and your doctor is recommending that you take an iron supplement before supplementing with this. And if you are supplementing, iron and vitamin C go very well together. Vitamin C helps with absorption. Okay, B vitamins. The B vitamins help the body break down food for energy. They help with detoxification. They help support adrenals and the stress response, nerve functioning, and so much more. How does this one get depleted? It could be, of course, not eating enough B vitamin foods, even though it's pretty abundant in the diet. Taking medications like PPIs will affect B vitamins. You simply might need more B vitamins when you have high stress. B12 specifically is made in the gut. So disorders like celiac, irritable bowel, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis can affect your B12 status. And people that drink alcohol regularly utilize and need more B vitamins. So, how do you increase it? It is a water soluble nutrient, so you need it frequently. And it is, like I said, in a wide variety of foods, things like meat, especially liver, seafood, poultry, eggs, dairy products, legumes, leafy greens, seeds, oats, bananas. The list goes on. Vitamin D is also very important for a lot of reasons, actually. It's key in absorbing calcium to maintain bone health. It keeps the immune system strong. It can help regulate insulin levels. It enhances mood. But today we focus on energy levels. So vitamin D supports the chemical processes of the mitochondria. The mitochondria are the energy, the powerhouse of the cell. And therefore, a lack of vitamin D can lead to poor cell energy, which leads to us feeling fatigued. How is this one depleted? This is really common to have deficient because there aren't many food sources that actually have vitamin D in it. So it is hard to get enough. This one also has a genetic mutation. So it's hard to convert it from the active form. I'll have to get into that at another time. We use too much sunscreen now. This is the vitamin we get from the sun, and we don't spend enough time in the sun. How do we increase it? We should supplement with vitamin D3 and K2. There are a lot of supplements out there that just have this combination. It's very important for absorption and utilization reasons. Many factors affect how much sun we need in order to absorb vitamin D. So a good rule of thumb is just 15 minutes on your arms, legs, chest, or back without sunscreen. Some of the food sources include cod liver oil, salmon, tuna. Dairy and plant milks are often fortified with vitamin D. Beef liver, egg yolks are another source. This one is more commonly tested since people are often deficient. So pull out your results if you have them. Most labs have 30 nanograms per milliliter as the lower range. I see people have symptoms at this range. The functional world wants your levels to be more at like 50 nanograms per milliliter. Omega-3s are next. So this isn't the first nutrient that I think of with low energy, but it's so crucial for so many things within the body. And other symptoms present here. So you may be able to tell if you're low on omega-3s. Dry skin, brittle hair, brain fog, depression, joint pains, very common. So omega-3s help reduce inflammation. And with the healthy fats, with the fats in general, we need a balance. So we often eat way too many omega-6s. And often the omega-6s we do eat are processed vegetable oils. Now, more research is out there showing how bad this really is. It's causing additional inflammation in the body. And this also gets more complicated because of the different types of omega 3s out there. There are plant sources, ALA, and there are animal sources, EPA and DHA. And we don't convert ALA well into EPA and DHA. So most people, if they're thinking omega 3s and having them, they're having the plant sources, but we need to get it converted all the way down to EPA and DHA, and we don't do it well. So we need to be eating more fish sources. And other fats compete for the pathway. So those processed vegetable oils we talked about will compete with the pathway. And if you're eating more of those, it'll cloud out those omega 3s. So it leaves us inflamed, which slows everything down. How does this get depleted? Well, we talked about not eating enough of the sources, those unhealthy fats competing with the pathway. When we have increased stress, we need additional omegas. How to increase it? This is another one that's very common to supplement with. We should also reduce unhealthy sources of omegas. We should eat more fish, more grass-fed beef, nuts, seeds, and eggs are also good sources. Magnesium is the next nutrient. This one is involved in over 300 processes in the body, and many people are also deficient in this nutrient. Magnesium helps with sleep, calming and soothing the brain. It's involved in muscle cramping and headaches or reducing those, bone health, blood sugar regulation. And some people with high blood pressure, it's actually a magnesium deficiency. How does this one get depleted? Not eating enough whole foods, too high of a carbohydrate diet, drinking too much alcohol, too much caffeine, having high blood sugars. This is one reason I always add pumpkin seeds to my salad is because it's high in magnesium. Another source would be chia seeds, almonds, salmon, avocado, chicken breast, spinach, dark chocolate. All of those are great magnesium sources. Sometimes when people crave dark chocolate, it's really a sign of a magnesium deficiency. Not always, but a little tip. So how to increase it? Eat more whole foods. If you do take a supplement, take it in the evening before bed because it also helps with relaxation and sleep. If you take the form magnesium citrate, it can also help with constipation, but then you need to be careful on how much you take because it can also cause loose bowels. So it's not just nutrients, but we also have to look at the macros. So carbohydrate, fat, protein. It's important we get enough protein, not too much, because we need to maintain our muscle mass, and amino acids are needed. That's the components of a protein. Those are needed in all body processes. It's also important to talk about quality water sources. If you have filtered water, I definitely recommend just getting it tested. You want to have a water source that filter that maintains the minerals, but it takes out things like heavy metals. You need to be careful with bottled water because that also has potential issues with the plastics, and not to mention the environmental stress of that as well. So a few other nutrients I just have to mention, some minerals like zinc, selenium, iodine. It's also about electrolyte balance. We often have too much sodium from the diet and not enough potassium. That can throw things off. Vitamin C, CoQ10 is another big one, all of which can be fixed with the following recommendations. Eat a varied diet. Make sure it's clean, make sure it's balanced. You could also consider, more colors of the rainbow. It's important to eat those healthy fats like we talked about. But in reality, we might just need to take a high quality multivitamin and fish oil. I really see this as the seatbelt for your diet. It's a simple way to get a good balance of nutrients. I'd also suggest not guessing. Plan out your meals and track for a week. And then you can see on all the different apps, they will put the nutrient amounts. See if you're getting all the nutrients we talked about. If you're vegetarian or on a strict food plan like keto, you need to be very mindful of getting all these different nutrients because as soon as we take out a food group or types of foods, we often lack nutrients that are super important. I suggest getting out in the sun 15 minutes a day and then get tested. So if all this, you've gone through, you're eating healthy, and still something doesn't seem right, I always recommend getting actually tested. So, next time we'll go into the gut more deeply. I regularly work with people that have compromised digestive function and microbiome issues, which makes it really impossible to break down and absorb the nutrients we're eating. How do you know if you have issues? I mean, not everyone even has symptoms. So I will get into that next time. We will also get into the things that really aren't food, all the things that we eat and how it messes up with our energy. Okay, so here are my top 5 nutrients, my top 5 tips. I'm curious what resonates with you most. And what is one step you can take now? And remember, if one step isn't enough, maybe it will take one more step. But each time you take a step, you will be closer to feeling more energized. So thank you for being here with me as we understand ourselves a little more deeply and optimize each step to live the best life. If this seems overwhelming, please reach out. I'd love to support you more. If you liked this, please subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, save it, journal on it. Feel free to comment on other ideas you have. We're all here for each other. Until next time.